Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 9th of August 2022. Couple of bits of news, then I'm going to talk about something that might interest you. So first bit of news is I've just got a rather irate text through from my wife Lorraine, who had to go to our local doctor's surgery for something this morning, and in this text she's saying that the muzzles are back in there. They want you to muzzle up again. And honestly, when are these people ever gonna sort of let this thing drop? You know, come on, it's been 2.5 years. You know, we need to get over this now. So why are you sort of bothering with the whole muzzle thing? Especially as I saw a meme which basically shows in real microscopic detail the weave of your average muzzle and the kind of size of your average lurgy sort of particle. And honestly, it's like a person standing in a aircraft hangar door, you know, open aircraft hangar door. That is kind of the scale that this thing was saying. It's absolutely ridiculous. So they don't do anything. It's just to make people feel better or make them feel more powerful, whatever. But it's high time we just ditch these horrible things. Wear them if you want to, but don't go dictating that me and my wife Lorraine and anyone who doesn't want to wear them, that we have to wear them. So, you know, just shove them basically. The other bit of news, a bit of better news. I was in a customer's house yesterday and they had the radio on, which is the only time I ever listen to mainstream radio when I'm in a customer's house. And one of the news headlines was, according to the post office, cash withdrawals, or the usage of cash, is up by some considerable amount. So that's really a good sign. I keep going on in my videos about the importance of cash and not letting it go, and judging from that headline and the amount it's getting used, I don't think it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So that was really good to see, a bit of better news there. And the rest of the video, I'm going to talk about something totally different from what I normally do. I'm going to give you a little sort of recipe tip. A few months ago, probably about 3 months ago, I saw a video done by this really lovely elderly American lady called Clara. I'll put a link to her video which kind of shows you this thing I'm about to talk about in better detail than what I'm going to. So I'll leave that. It's a YouTube video, so I'll leave it in the comment section and the description box below. And in this video she talks about something called poor man's meal, and it's something that apparently they used to have in the Great Depression over there in the States. And of course, in those days people were very hungry, many people not far from starvation, and you know, meals had to be really as cheap as you could possibly make them. And you don't get much cheaper than just a few potatoes, onions, and, well, in her recipe she actually uses kind of Frankfurter sausage, hot dog type sausage, and that's literally all you need to use, apart from maybe a bit of oil, you know, olive oil in the pan or something. But apart from that, it is that's all you need. And if you're like me, you've got a lot of onions and potatoes out of your garden, they're not going to cost you anything. And I couldn't actually get any proper hot dog type sausage, so I used these merguez sausage things instead from our local butcher. Not the cheapest way of doing it, and I think back in the day hot dog type sausages were really cheap as well, sort of a really cheap source of protein. Not everybody's cup of tea, I realise that in this day and age. A lot of people don't like that product, and if you don't, you can either use, well, as I did, other types of sausage, or maybe even sort of any bits of leftover chicken you've got, fish, and if you're a vegan stroke vegetarian, I guess you can use any kind of vegetables that you want. You know, if you've got some peppers or some courgettes or something, yeah, whatever, just to sling them in there instead of the sausage. So if you want a really simple, cheap, tasty meal, this poor man meal thing, I can highly recommend it. I cooked it up, ate it last night, and it was absolutely fantastic. So not exactly a recipe that the likes of Gordon Ramsay would do, so you've probably never heard of this thing, especially if you're in this country, in the UK. You might have heard it if you're a bit older and you're in the United States maybe. I certainly hadn't ever heard of it until I saw this video from Clara randomly pop up. But yeah, I'll just leave you with some footage I shot last night of me actually cooking up this poor man meal, so you can see exactly how I did it. And if you fancy the idea of it, give it a go, and yeah, either sort of email me or leave a comment in the comment section below what you think of it. So here we go, cooking the poor man's meal, and some onions, 2 small onions, and a few potatoes. They're the ones out of my garden, so homegrown produce. And strictly speaking, you should use Frankfurter or hot dog type sausages, according to Clara, but I couldn't find any of those in my village when I went out shopping. I don't know why. I don't think those things are particularly in fashion at the moment, but I got these Merguez sausages instead. Hope I pronounced that right, probably haven't, but very tasty. I think they're French or maybe Spanish type sausages, and got them from a really good butcher we have locally, so they're what I'm using instead. Boil up your potatoes. I did these for 5 minutes to partially cook them. Dice up your onions or chop them up, ready to go. Some freshly picked blackberries out of the garden bush we've got here, freshly foraged. And here I am cooking up the Merguez sausages for about 5 minutes. And here's everything ready to go. Those sausages cooked up, potatoes partially cooked, all ready to go in the pan. Coming along nicely. I think we're getting there. And here we go, served up, and it's looking gorgeous. Here's the whole meal with blackberries from my pudding, poor man's meal, and a cheeky glass of red wine there in a tumbler. How uncouth is that? But that's the way I roll, baby. Absolutely delicious. So there you go, that's how I did it, and it was lovely. I'll tell you what, it was a really tasty meal. Highly recommended. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.